Hi, Christine. Thank you for joining today's session. We are very
My
excited. Thank you. We are very excited to have you here with us today to share your experience and journey of transforming the vendor onboarding and management process using Zoho Creator. For those who may not be familiar with MCI Notaries, they operate in a notary services and real estate closing space with a strong focus on managing and onboarding notary vendors for mortgage closings. Today, we are going to take you through their journey from the challenges they were facing with manual onboarding, compliance management, communication, and vendor evaluation to how they built a more structured and automated solution using Zoho Creator. We will also talk about the different modules and integrations involved, the improvements they have seen since implementation, and what they are planning to enhance in the future. So, without further delay, let's get started. To begin, Christine, just could you please give us an overview like of your company, what your organization does, the industry you are in, and from which location?
Yes, happy to share. And thank you for having me today. So MCI Notaries serves title companies, banks, real estate offices across the United States. And what we do is we connect those clients with vetted notaries, people that handle mortgage closings and other official paperwork. We operate in the legal and notary services space and spend most of our time assisting in real estate closings. And again, across the United States.
Okay. Thank you for giving us the background. Now that we have a better understanding of MCI Notaries and what you do. So, I would like to understand your role in this transformation and how you became involved with Zoho Creator.
I actually entered the implementation process roughly halfway through and had to get up to speed fairly quickly. Thanks again to your team for making that possible by being supportive throughout the whole process. We had a key executive leave, and I took over the internal aspect of this implementation. I serve as the company's integrator. We are a company that runs on EOS, which is the Entrepreneurial Operating System, and it's my responsibility to make sure all departments work well together. This implementation of Zoho Creator, it has been a game changer for us. So seeing that through to its completion was my primary objective as soon as I started with the team.
That's really helpful. And I'm sure there was a reason behind moving towards a custom solution. So before
Yes.
Zoho Creator was implemented, what were some of the biggest challenges that MCI notaries were experiencing?
We had a fully manual onboarding process for our notaries. There was no way to track things. There was no established workflow. That made it really difficult to manage all of the compliance documents that we have to track: licenses, insurance policies, certifications. And this is across thousands of vendors. It was messy. And we were managing, but it took a lot of time and effort and created a lot of headache. We had data that was scheduled. We had data that was scattered across Brevo, which is an email tool, and the existing scheduling platform, but we didn't really have a single source of truth. We didn't have automated communication. So that's a huge game changer with Zoho Creator. Is to be, and the campaigns is to be able to have automatic workflows, automatic reminders, automatic emails, signing requests, all of these things that we were doing manually before. And then we also had a kind of haphazard interviewing and scoring process. We were vetting all of our notaries, but it was difficult to find out by who, what approach was being used. Zoho Creator helped us really formalize that process.
Okay, it sounds like there were quite a few moving pieces involved, especially with the volume of vendors and the compliance requirements. That
Yes.
naturally leads to the next question. So, how did these challenges actually impact your team and business?
Um, in a huge way. As soon as we started using Zoho Creator, once it was launched to the team, um, they recognized just how much of a challenge it had been to do all of the work manually. Now seeing that visible impact on daily productivity and the vendor experience, so the notaries are having a better experience now with onboarding as well, not just our internal team. Um, Previously, a significant amount of our staff's time was spent on manual follow-ups, chasing missing compliance documents, coordinating phone interviews. Trying to get a busy notary on the phone was really a struggle, and manually sending agreements. There was little time left for growing or improving our process. We were so busy just getting the work done. Um, as the number of vendor applications grew, we realized that our existing platform was not going to be able to keep up with this. We recognized that there needed to be a better way to review, approve, and onboard our notaries to MCI. And that's when it became clear that we really needed a custom solution, and Zoho Creator was what we started looking at. We wanted something that was purpose built around how MCI handles the onboarding process with specific vendor pipeline stages. We have an assessment that we've created, and we wanted to make sure we could use that to qualify our notaries and have a portal where those notaries would be able to access that application, access that assessment in one central hub that we didn't have to manage. It was all happening automatically. So the staff has been, the team has been incredibly excited to see the impact it's had on their day-to-day workflow now.
Okay, so my next question was actually about the modules that were built in the Zoho Creator, but I hope that you have covered that in this question itself. So I'm moving to the next one. Like, were there any integrations with other tools or systems?
Yeah, and that's what's one of the things I love about Zoho is there are so many possibilities. And we're only using a few, and I would be safe to say that we're going to use more in the future as we continue to evolve. The ones that we've been using are Zoho Sign. That's been an easy, effortless solution. It's digitally delivered. It is specific to that client, and it gets rid of the boxes and boxes of agreements that we used to have, right? And now it's all digital. So no more physical paperwork. We also incorporated Zoho campaigns, the automated email communications saved our team a lot of time and stress of wondering, wait, who should they be following up with? And what are they asking for? Things were getting lost in the shuffle sometimes. And that's hard because we take our work very seriously. The Zoho campaigns really helped us provide a more consistent notary onboarding experience, both for our internal team, again, and for the notaries that we're onboarding.
Okay, so you have brought the different pieces together from onboarding and documentation to agreements, communication. So the next important question then becomes like, was there any difference this has made to your business?
Yes, it has completely transformed our end-to-end vendor onboarding process. It's now handled through one single structured workflow, and it doesn't feel disconnected anymore. It's not a manual process anymore. It's also provided a significant reduction in the amount of time our team is spending on follow-ups. They're not chasing documents. They're not trying to coordinate signatures. It's all done through this single source now. And because our notaries now have access to a portal directly through the use of 250 licenses that we have, which has been more than enough for everything we've dealt with, it's a way to onboard a larger number of notaries more easily. We would have never been able to onboard the numbers that we're seeing right now with our old process. It also gives us, I mentioned that assessment earlier. We had been vetting and doing assessments with our notaries that we were onboarding, but now it's so much more formalized. Now we have a bank of questions. We have an amazing team of subject matter experts when it comes to all things closings and all things notary. So our assessment now feels much more efficient. We see what the scores are. It allows us to make a better decision on if we're approving them to be an MCI notary or if they're not the right fit for us. And then there are a lot of documents involved in what we do. To be able to have a great way to track all of the compliance documents, including our vendor agreements, other agreements that are necessary to conduct business with MCI, they're all in one central hub. And that makes it so much easier to not have to look into Teams folders or Windows Explorer or a drive somewhere. It really brings it all into one central hub. It's just overall improved both the vendor, the notaries that we're onboarding, as well as the client experience, because it's just really removed the roadblocks or the hassle from what the onboarding process used to be.
Okay, that's great to hear. How you're going to rate OfficeHub Tech's involvement on your development?
I give you guys a 5 out of 5. It has been great working with you and the team. It's you're responsive. You can take what we see as a vision and have turned it into something tangible that we are using in our business now every day. So I appreciate the work that you guys have done. I would highly recommend you.
Thank you. It's great to hear that the impact has been felt by your team as well. And of course, once a solution starts delivering value, the conversation naturally moves towards what's next, right? So what you're looking to enhance or expand in the future?
There are many things that we can do. I won't go into too much detail, but we looking at more automated campaign workflows, using really benefiting from the email and the communications aspect of it, into further integrations with other systems that we're using, enhancing the reporting and analytics layers. I love numbers. I'm a data gal. So seeing reporting and being able to make decisions based on that data, those are all things we're excited to add. Those are the things that we're excited to add into our Zoho Creator solution.
That's exciting because it shows that the solution isn't just addressing today's requirements. It also giving you a foundation to build on. So before we wrap up, I would like to ask one final question, Christine. I'm sure it will be particularly useful for our audience as well, whoever sees this. Okay. So would you recommend Zoho Creator and OfficeHub Tech to other businesses, and why?
Yes, I absolutely would recommend both. And why we chose to go this route instead of a pre-made solution is because this really offered the flexibility to build a system that mirrored our exact workflow. Everything from multi-stage vendor pipelines to automated compliance tracking. Knowing that Zoho Creator could handle those things was a big deal, rather than us having to adapt our processes to fit a tool that already existed. It's also about the ability to scale. And we're handling thousands of vendors annually, and that's only going to grow. This would not be possible with a standard SaaS platform. It just wouldn't work. So we are not just concerned about working with our current workflow, but being very mindful of what needs to what needs to be true for us to scale. And that's where OHT has really helped us make sure that we're getting the maximum use out of Zoho. And they have deep knowledge. I mean, you guys have been really key in helping us refine our approach, our vision that we had for this, to make sure that we're getting everything we can out of Zoho Creator. And the communication's always been proactive. I know that you are very committed to delivering the solution that we've been looking for, and that MCI Notaries is, grateful for that, for everything that you've done. I'd recommend it for any business that's in legal services, staffing, anything that's compliance heavy, for sure. And even any organization that's managing a large contractor or vendor database, where you just need that structured, automated onboarding experience, so that your team isn't drowning in tasks.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us today, Christine. I think what really stands out from your story is how a solution built around your actual business process can turn a complex manual onboarding operation into a much more structured and scalable experience.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine, and whole MCI Notaries team for sharing your insights, and thank you for joining today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.